We live in a world today where technological advances seem to be more common than ever before. We have AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, streaming applications, and more, all at our fingertips. And with these highly technical solutions comes highly creative people. And when you merge those things together, you get things like Midjourney, Cyberpunk 2077, Rainbow Six Siege, Oculus Quest, Apple Vision goggles, gas-powered RC F1 vehicles, jet planes, and drones. But what you also get are people that like to do dumb shit with these things, like hack, or push games out half-finished and charge you full price, use drones to sell drugs, and even attach artillery to them to aid in war efforts. And this is where our beloved creations take a turn for the worst.
Drone drops delivering drugs right inside the walls of California state prisons.
Drone drops have become increasingly common in the past couple of years.
This year we've worked probably 5 or 6 drone cases.
Fears of Chinese espionage have forced some drone operators to switch to American-produced models, and away from leading Chinese companies like DJI, which owns over 70% of the market share worldwide.
With most Ukrainian battalions using these drones to execute kamikaze-style attacks on Russian tanks, troop positions, and other large-scale weapons.
Ukraine, facing the constant threat of Russian aggression, has found an ingenious and cost-effective solution to counter the formidable armored might of its neighbor, cheap DIY drones.
With the looming reality of remote ID, the Ukrainian war, and negative press, it's no secret that the future of the hobby is being met with some uncertainty. From reports of the cartel using drones to aid in violence in Mexican states, Canada reporting that 75% of prison contraband seizures are attributed to drone drops, as well as here in America, where we have Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas recalling an incident, apparently one of 2,300 involving drones in the past 2 years at that time, where flight schedules were actually disrupted and had planes grounded for 30 minutes. I can't help but think, where is this all headed in the future?
Thanks.
And if you actually take part in FPV or even just casual videography, you can't help but look at your drone and think, how long will I be able to do this? Legally, before somebody does something as dumb as, I don't know, jumping out of a plane with a selfie stick, leaving it without a pilot to spiral toward the ground and potentially kill someone for YouTube clout.
In a video titled, "I Crashed My Plane," Trevor is seen parachuting over the Los Padres National Forest in California, leaving his Taylorcraft BL-65 plane to crash without a pilot. Jacob says his engine stopped.
Holy I'm over the mountains and I get out an engine out.
But he made no attempt to call air traffic control's emergency line or restart the engine before bailing on the aircraft.
Yeah, that dumb. And then we have the other side of the coin, drones being built and modified to carry explosives in the Ukrainian-Russian war, which is, I gotta give it to them, it's very fucking innovative, and it reminds me of something out of Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Wow.
But still, we also have Forbes claiming that since last year, 2023 in August, the Ukraine have used at least 8,273 drones, while the Russian military has used no fewer than 6,059 drones. And these drones carry explosives as far as 2 miles out. And this year alone, the Ukraine is said to be planning to deploy up to 1 million FPV drones. And that's not counting the claims that the Russian military is planning to deploy up to 100,000 drones per month this year as well.
What the fuck?
Now, how credible that information is? Debatable. But if it's true, that's fucking insane. And I'm all in favor of technology and using it to pull opposing military forces further away from each other to protect and preserve human life, or so it seems. However, that doesn't make it suck any less. But I also know that's just how things tend to evolve, so I don't know. And being that I'm almost a year in now, this is something that's been starting to cross my mind a lot more. Like, for example, as things begin to evolve, will I be looked at differently for flying my drone around an office building parking lot? And that may be extreme. But what I do know is that wherever and whenever I tend to fly, a lot of people tend to receive it pretty well, which is surprising because I fully expected to run into a Karen by now, but I'm not gonna jinx it. It's mostly been people asking me how to get started or how fast it goes or how much they cost, which ends up turning into a pretty good conversation, which also leads to them wanting to try it out for themselves and asking for the difference between a FPV drone and a regular camera drone, and even wanting to buy some for their children. As for the technical side of things, I'm really excited to see new innovations and try new things. I'm really interested in the Walk Snell Moonlight and the Goggles X, which I think are a great competitor to the O3 Air unit with its low light capability for just a little bit of a cheaper price. And speaking of DJI, I'm ready for them to just announce a new something. To be honest, I'd really like a new camera in the form factor of an Action 2 with just better dynamic range, but that's probably just wishful thinking. There's never a shortage of creative ways to burn money in this thing, man, and that's for sure. But what is a solution to all this in the long run? More regulations, laws, bans, God forbid? Remote ID has already stirred up enough bullshit, and on top of that, the NDAA is trying to push the American CCP Drones Act, which is going to prohibit the federal government from purchasing and operating drones made in China, North Korea, Iran, and Russia starting December 2025. There's also the Countering CCP Drones Act bill that's seeking to ban DJI drones in the US completely, which will leave a lot of people who purchase DJI drones grounded, regardless of how they're using them. DJI has also said, according to their blog site, that they support US manufacturing. So does that mean to get around this, DJI would be open to bringing their manufacturing process stateside? I don't know. But if that does happen, I can see a lot of people interested in drones being completely priced out of the market, which could lead to more innovation on the FPV side of things, which could potentially put us back in the same situation that we're already in because humans don't learn. So that's the yin and yang of that situation, I guess. But is there really any way to stop these things from damaging the reputation of this hobby? If regulations start to get stupid over time, what does that even look like? Would anybody even follow these imposed regulations? When it comes to FPV, I don't think many pilots are going to care that much about regulations, especially since it's all DIY anyway for the most part, but I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
But this was just something I've had on my mind for a while and I've been wanting to talk about. More than anything, I'm curious about these things and would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to throw them in the comments section and start a conversation. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Catch you later.